Hi and welcome to the weekly predictions based on astrology for the week of September 7, 2020. To first go over the predictions for the direction of the stock market, I posted on my blog already yesterday that the direction for Tuesday and Wednesday is going to be up, or at least more likely to be up, and on Thursday and Friday it is more likely to be down. Now I am recording this already on the afternoon on Tuesday, the 8th of September, and I did see that we had still a large drop in the market. I certainly thought that today would be a relatively positive day in terms of the news, and it will drive market prices to go up. So if this was the market down on relatively, positive sort of or neutral transit day, then certainly Thursday and Friday of this week look even worse. So to move on to sort of next few months, it goes beyond this week's prediction, but it's kind of interesting to note that through about, I'd say, the 23rd of September, we will have again relatively quote-unquote quiet period. And that's again, relatively speaking, just compared to what sort of the tribulations and the chaos and the, variety of tensions we had in August. However, starting with the last week of September through the end of this year, unfortunately, we will continue experiencing all kinds of either geopolitical tensions, problems with weather, and even earthquakes, disasters, tensions, like I said, among the countries, and that will actually start picking back up at the end of this month. And then into January 2021, we will continue having still more, tensions, except while, in the 2020, the focus perhaps was or is still going to be through the end of this year on things like powerful leaders perhaps stepping down and being removed, or restructuring at the tops of corporations, or governmental leaders or governmental entities experiencing some difficulty and being restructured or removed or challenged. In 2021, the focus will switch to things that are sudden, surprising, unexpected, and may be accompanied by accidents that involve, say, power outages, like violent storms, and there is a fire and a power outage, or some sort of a cloud provider is experiencing some difficulties, or airplane either accidents or problems with airlines that again could reach really massive scale, or problems that will ground airlines. Again, I'm not talking necessarily Boeing. Obviously, they're having some issues with their 787, but I'm talking about on the major sort of scale where the signal processing or quick transportation from one place to another, that may either be suddenly changed with some sort of a new innovation, or perhaps again there will be some accident and things will need to be reviewed and things will be temporarily grounded, or simply there will be a lot of bad weather that involves storms, etc. And that's more like in January of 2021. So the reason I'm saying all that is that enjoy your time through about, I'd say, September 23, and that includes this week, that regardless of this big drop we just experienced on Tuesday, this actually comes under relatively, the transits that are currently taking a little bit of a break, they're separating a little bit, and for the next 3 weeks, we should hopefully see a little bit more of a break from truly major geopolitical tensions, etc., or governmental leaders being, attacked, etc. Let's see. However, later in this week, and specifically around September 10 and 11, that's within this week, on sort of a small scale, we will have days that, again, I think will be more tense, and we'll see market going down, but also we'll see focus on prices of oil, chemicals, gas, pharmaceuticals, and this may include perhaps announcements about new vaccines or some sort of new treatments, and especially in the area of mental health or addictions. And again, on the scale sort of multi-months sort of a pattern, I think that we will still begin experiencing more and more tensions. In particular month of November, of course, we have elections in the US, but regardless of that, even in other countries like China, November seems to be a fairly tense month when we will have, yet again, problems with either leaders. So if in Belarus, maybe Lukashenko gets a break and there's another big wave of protests against, say, some leader or leaders being toppled, or perhaps if, in China there's a break in terms of flooding, and but the structures are weakened, again, come November, those same structures, again, be it governmental or literally physical, like dam, for example, will be tested once again. Let's see, then that comes also, I guess, the same sort of applies rather to COVID-19 and any other really research that is related to pharmaceutical or biomedical kind of domain. And that's both globally and for China, especially for China. We may hear more news out of China regarding specifically either infectious diseases or perhaps, like I said, research. And on the positive side, it could be perhaps they will come up with a vaccine, and or there'll maybe be problems again with water pollution, poisoning of the land in remote places such as prisons, hospitals, having some sort of issues. And again, this could be due to another way of infectious diseases, be it with COVID or something else. If, say, there's flooding, obviously it may spread some sort of disease. So that is something that's coming still later in the year. And that may also be accompanied by some concerns about like oil prices as well. So again, this week, aside from the 10th and 11th, is actually looking relatively, I guess, peaceful compared to perhaps what's still coming ahead, despite, like I said, this large market drop that occurred today. So things may still recover, but then starting at the end of September, I would be a little bit more careful. And also specifically in November, let's see, November, especially second and third week of November, is where on a long-term scale we may see like a truly kind of a important time where it's going to be either top or bottom for like a market for on the multi-months sort of for multi-months trend. So that's where, if say market will continue rallying through, then that's when there may be a big kind of a reversal in the direction. And I think there may be another reversal from there in around mid-January, like maybe 11th through the 19th of January will be quite an important time where there will be potentially another reversal. So let's see what else is worth mentioning for this week. For 8th and 9th of September, I actually saw some positive trends that are supportive of areas like various governmental services, such as like postal service or help that goes to, say, population that maybe is needy, elderly, or people with health issues, or some programs that benefit such population. May perhaps those who are unwell or need some assistance, there may be some announcements that may benefit, again, those areas that are supportive, and that may come from government. There may also be positive news about like international agreements in terms of especially travel and shipments, and that's for 8th and 9th of September. Obviously on the September 8th, this kind of influence was not strong enough to override, I guess, concerns, and the market did go down, but I still expect there may be some positive announcements on the 8th and 9th about like healthcare, and like I said, governmental services, education, and programs that benefit various like needy sectors of population. But then on the 10th and 11th, we may hear more about either concerns about prices of oil or gas, more sort of fresh concerns about either flooding or excessively wet weather, or oil spills or water pollution, excessive precipitation, flooding, etc. But also there may be some announcements perhaps that were expected about, say, oil or any of these areas like chemicals, pharmaceuticals, or even perhaps development of the vaccine that against COVID-19 or some other pharmaceutical where maybe on say 8th and 9th there was a positive expectation of something coming through, then on the 10th and then the 11th there may actually be news where suddenly the details are missing. Some announcement comes out, but the details aren't clear, they're missing, or something is misleading, or perhaps announcement is delayed, but it's unclear why. And so this kind of lack of clarity or confusion, perhaps there are two conflicting announcements, or there's some problems with, say, like I said, oil spill, some pharmaceutical where maybe it's found not to be as effective or perhaps even dangerous, etc. So that may be bringing some sort of feeling of distress and confusion. And I believe then Thursday and Friday, therefore, maybe down days with strong emphasis in the news on like oil, chemicals, pharmaceuticals, water floods, pollution, infectious diseases, and things like that. Let's see. So then kind of moving, looking ahead rather into like the next week, just to keep you prepared. So September 14th and 15th are going to see definitely, I would say, increased market volatility. And there will be increased news about banks, finance, earnings, and cryptocurrencies, as well as any sort of other currencies like forex and also gold. And I think there may be either unexpected developments, maybe a bank announces something unexpectedly, or perhaps an announcement that was expected may come early, or it may again be, there may be an element of surprise basically, or perhaps if there's a program of like assistance of some sort or rates or something, suddenly it may be canceled or changed without much notice. There may also be, power outages or just some service disruptions, and also increased volatility in the currency prices. Especially, I would look at the Euro USD. There may be greater than usual jump there, and I think that gold and possibly silver may go up on like 14th and or 15th of September. And then after that, in October, some important dates that come to mind, just to kind of pencil it in to look forward later in October, from about, I would say, 16th through the 20th of October, which is like Friday through Monday, there may be increased focus on, again, oil, pharmaceuticals, chemicals, water, pollution, excessive precipitation, and of course any sort of beverages are watery, right, liquid, and also any sort of secretive activities, lies, deception, hacking, spying, drugs, or places of worship, anything that's like intentionally tries to stay hidden because those places are peaceful and quiet, like monasteries, hospitals, etc. So those kind of either places, businesses related to these areas may be again heavily featured in the news. That's again October 16th through the 20th. And there may also be strong focus on the oil prices at that time, and at the same time there may be large move in the stock market, and I think it could be something along the lines of Friday the 16th, things may go down perhaps, and then a reversal to like a swing back to up on the 20th. But most likely a reversal from Friday to Monday, and in general focus on, like I said, oil, pharmaceuticals, especially oil prices. And I think that should be enough for this week. As I said, I would enjoy the remainder of the month, because I think starting from about 23rd of September, things actually will be picking up back to where there will be more tensions, more protests, and increased probability of various difficulties such as disasters, reshuffling of the governments, reshuffling of the tops of the various corporations. So definitely, if you have vacation plans, etc., I would take it now and then sit tight and I guess definitely not let your guard down. So on this positive note, I'm going to go and enjoy the rest of your week. Hopefully you're gonna come back and watch some of these predictions next week as well. Until then, bye.